4 steps what to do if you feel bullied, okay? Number 1, look this way. If you feel bullied, you've got to leave the situation. Let me tell you what happens in your brain. This is what science is teaching us. When you come into a contact with a bully, you come into a bullying situation, what happens in your brain? For 15 minutes, your brain is shooting out something into your body called adrenaline. And what adrenaline does is adrenaline blocks your thinking. So for 15 minutes, right now, let's pretend that James was a bully. He's a very nice boy. He's not, because nobody here is mean. Everyone here is kind. But let's pretend that James was mean. If James pushed me and he says, I don't like you, for the next 15 minutes, my body is going to start feeling adrenaline. And what that means is for 15 minutes, I cannot think. You ask yourself, why do people do bad things when they're bullying? When they're being bullied? Why do they do things where they don't think? Well, it's because you cannot think. So the first thing you have to do is you've got to leave that situation. So if James comes and he says, David, I don't like you, you're mean, the first thing I need to do is get out of the situation. Because for the next 15 minutes, my brain is not thinking. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you've got to talk to an adult right away. Talk to your parents. Tell your teacher, tell your counselor, go talk to somebody immediately, okay? So the first thing, what do you have to do when somebody's bullying you? What do you have to do the first thing? All right, why? Because you cannot? Okay, the second thing, you've got to what? You've got to talk to somebody. Now, the third thing, look this way, look this way. The third thing, and the last thing is this. Don't blame yourself. You see, don't tell yourself, well, it's my fault, I deserve it. None of you deserve to be pushed. None of you deserve to be hit. None of you deserve to be called names. The only name that you deserve to be called is special. The only name you deserve to be called is valuable. Every single one of you is important. Every single one of you is a genius. Every single one of you is beautiful. And none of you deserve to be bullied. All right? If you believe in yourself, clap real loud if you believe in yourself. Okay, how many of you, let me see your hands, boys and girls. How many of you all want a nice school where everyone's kind and we're all friends? Okay, now put your hands down. Put your hands down. If you want that kind of school, I'm going to lead us into a pledge. It's like the Pledge of Allegiance, but it's a pledge of kindness. All right? So if you want to make that pledge, repeat after me. I pledge to be kind. I pledge to be a friend. I will be nice to everybody here. And I will not tolerate bullies. Whenever there is a bully in school, I will tell the teacher. And Borchers is going to be the happiest school ever. All right, now let's try the game again. Now let's go back to the game, all right? Kindness. Kindness. Bullying. Kindness. All right, let me tell you this last story, and then we're going to do something really, really fun. All right. Let me finish the story. Okay. How many of you all have seen snow before? Let me see your hands if you've seen snow. Okay. Okay, the first time I saw snow, I was 21 years old, and I went to Switzerland. And I remember my friend told me, I'd never seen snow in my life. And my friend told me, he said, David, it's going to snow. You can see snow for the first time. I had never seen snow in my life. And so I remember we got in the car and we started going up the mountain. And then I saw snowflakes. And I said, snowflakes? I've never seen snowflakes. The only flakes I've seen are cornflakes, frosty flakes. And so I told my friend, I said, Christophe, stop the car. And he looked at me with that French accent and he said, oh, no. It gets better. It gets better. So we kept on going up the mountain and then snow started coming down harder. And I said, Christophe, stop the car. And he looked at me with that French accent and he said, oh, no. It gets better. It gets better. So we kept on going up the mountain and the snow was coming down hard. He couldn't even drive. I couldn't even see. And I said, Christophe, stop the car now. And he looked at me with that French accent and he said, okay, it got better. It got better. And so I got off the car and I wanted to taste it because I thought it was going to taste like ice cream. I was like, I tasted a little bit and the whole time he said it's going to get better. And boys and girls, I want to tell you this. When you're kind to each other, when you're being nice to each other and you're going to school, look this way, and you're being focused, students, things get better. And I know that the rest of your life is going to be filled with success. The rest of your life is going to be filled with success and happiness. Students, I told you about facing bullies when I was little. But students, just because you face bullies doesn't mean that's where the story ends. See, students, I was able to graduate college. I was able to get a master's. And I remember I learned 5 languages. I still want to learn more. And a few years ago, I went back to Switzerland. And I gave a conference. It was over 2,000 people. And they wanted me to give 3 speeches, all in French. And so I remember the joke that they told me when I first started. And they were saying, you're not going to learn this. The very first joke. And years later, I was able to flip the script. And I used the same joke that they told me, but I changed it around. And I went and I said, if you speak 3 languages, you're trilingual. If you speak 2 languages, you're bilingual. But if you speak 5 languages, you're David Edward Garcia. See, I was able to turn it around. Students, when I was in school, I was such a hyper kid, I used to get paddled. Now, I'm going all over the world, and I'm being hyper, and they're paying me for it. It's the same thing. When I was a kid, I used to get paddled. Now I get paid. You see, students, look this way, look this way. Because when you're kind, when you're not tolerating bullying, and you're nice to everyone, and you're putting out good things, when you go to school, when you're drug-free, students, your future is bright. And you can flip the script, and all of the things that you're going through in life that are hurtful and hard, you can turn it around. And the things, look this way, the things that right now are your weakness can become your strength. And the reason we're here is because we believe in you. We know that Borchers has very wonderful, very intelligent, very smart kids. We know that this is going to be the kindest school ever. Are y'all having a good time so far? Are y'all ready to go back to class? Y'all want to continue having fun? All right, one more time the game. Bullying. Kindness. One more time. Bullying.